Hello and welcome to this very first episode of 2 Minute Tuesday, my vlog talk about this week's peaks. And that's rhyming right there. Woo! Thanks, bro. So for this 4 next months, I'm gonna stay here in Jerusalem, working mainly with serving food for some poor Jewish people in a soup kitchen. Is it even possible to sound more holy than that?
No, that's very holy.
Anyways, as we flew out from Copenhagen to get here, we already encountered some of the more interesting parts of the Jewish culture when a man in the middle of the plane wrapped this string around his arm and his head and all of a sudden just started praying in the middle of the plane. None of us really knew what was going on, and actually I thought for a second that maybe he was some kind of terrorist, or I don't know, but thank God he was not a terrorist. It was just an Orthodox Jew, and that's just the way they pray, I guess. And well, ever since that, it's been more of a normal thing to us. Maybe as normal as old naked people on the beaches in Denmark in the summer, which is a bit too normal, in my opinion. So we landed safely in Tel Aviv and took the taxi to get from the airport to the house we live in, which I gotta say is nice. Compared to all the places I've been living in around the world this past year, this place is a palace. Very nice house, clean. We got a lovely front porch slash yard, whatever you call it. We actually love it so much that we did a sleepover out there in the couches, because they can sit out there all day, since we're guaranteed not to have rain until October or something crazy. And then I got up in the morning and grabbed my camera very early and got up and got some pictures of our neighborhood and Jerusalem, which looks like this. Alright, welcome back. So, normally I would cut it here and say goodbye to keep the 2 minute in 2 Minute Tuesday 2 minutes, which is a name I'm already starting to regret. Yeah, should have gone with 5 Minute Friday or something like that. But since I didn't record anything last Tuesday, I'm gonna permit myself to go twice as long today. So last Friday we took a little trip to some cool places in Israel that I don't really remember what's called, but they were really cool. The first place we went to was this valley where David and Goliath had their epic battle, or epic for David, not so epic for Goliath, but anyways, we hiked up this hill to some ruins of a city that David built back in his days, and it was just a funny feeling being around places that you hear about in the Bible. And so you walk in there and you're like, okay, some 1,000 years ago This is where it was done. This is where it happened. After that, we made our way to this national park that had an area known for these huge caves that it was all filled up with. Apparently they had been used for breeding doves, or whatever you call that kind of farming industry. And it was just a strange feeling to walk around in this gigantic complex networks of caves and tunnels where it was all man-made. And I mean, someday back 2,000 years ago, there was somebody's home. Somebody had been doing their marshmallows and drinking their hot chocolate in there, being all cozy. We ended up the day with a nice little trip to the beach, which was indeed refreshing compared to walking in 33 degrees Celsius uphill. But it was quite a shocker because it was so warm, the ocean. Never really experienced an ocean where I actually thought it was a bit too hot, but we had fun, as you can see.
Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA.
Alright, that is it for this Tuesday. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and God willingly, I'll be back next Tuesday, so have a good one until then.